How y'all doing out there? This is Paul Bonczek from the Dragon Den Recording Studio. I'm bringing to you the latest developments in the creation of my studio. This is all self-funded. I spent a lot of money to build this recording studio. We hope to bring in clients at some time or another, at which time I'll also be recording my own album. Dragon's Rule is the name of my band. This is our main rack system here. On the top we have a power supply. Going down from there we have a moto. The moto is a interface. That's our main interface at the moment. We also have a Behringer here, which is a little higher quality interface I will probably be going to use in sometime in the future. We have cinema speakers with our monitors. Monitors on both sides with cinema speakers. We'll be adding 2 more monitors in the back of us for a better sound. This is our main control center. This is it's a workstation that will enable us to burn CDs and create all the CDs that we need to do in our album. This is everything in this studio. We have everything that we need to complete an album from beginning to end. This is an 11 rack system. The 11 works with Pro Tools 12 and it'll give me all of my plugins for different boxes or pedals, and also different amplifiers. Below that we have a compressor. Above that we have the large screen. Eventually the studio will be showing up on the large screen. Right now I don't have the main cinema screen turned on with the computer in the back, but this screen here will be where our recording studio software will show up. We have Pro Tools 12 and Ableton 9 Live. It's $1,000 worth of software. This is our MIDI computer, and it also comes with a 1-octave keyboard. It's for recording and being able to turn on and off your record and set everything to the levels that you want. Over here I have a Windows 8 that I primarily use in my podcast. Each morning I do a podcast where it's called Sounds of the 70s, just live from the Dragon Den, and I play albums that I have over 250 albums. And I play albums for a studio audience. Well, not a studio audience, but a live audience. I have over 4,000 followers. And also, they all come on every morning to listen to me. I play to about 200 people on the average in the morning. Coming around, we'll just finish up over here. We have, that's our main... This is our main equipment for the recording studio. The interface, the 11, the patch board, the moto, the Behringer interface, and the workstation. Of course, you need a MIDI computer. You need a cinema screen. You can do it with just a monitor. And you need your DAW, which is your digital, it's your software that allows you to record. That was $1,000. Behind that, we use a desk, and we have our main computer, which is a tower, 32 gigabytes, and it has 2 terabytes of storage. That's our main computer that's turned off at the moment. Otherwise, I'd be able to bring up our recording software. We have over in this corner, we have a Marshall amp. And that's a digital. I use this amplifier for my Sling-a-Ling drum set in the back. And here I have it's a Colby. It's a lot like a Telecaster, and I'm gonna redo that whole guitar with a Fender neck and turn it into a Telecaster. This is a very old Fender. It's a Jaguar model that I'm gonna restore. Over here we have Yamaha cabinets, which work with my. It's a Fender. Excuse me. It's a Kenwood receiver, And I use the Kenwood receiver with the JVC horse lock turntable. And that turntable spits out sound through the Yamaha stacks. We have on top of that a 200 watt. It's a music 2000 watt. Excuse me. Preamp that works through this particular control panel here. The control panel I use with my Sennheiser mic that I have here to do my broadcast in the morning. My Sennheiser mic is a very good mic, and it is utilized for my broadcast each morning. I have many different types of mics in the studio. I have over in this corner, well, coming from left to right, I have a this is a bass amp underneath here. It's a Roland. On top of that, I have my office printer. I have my motion picture camera here, which we'll be utilizing to do podcasts in the future. It's a very nice motion picture camera. In this corner, I have a condenser mic, and that I also have two acoustic guitars. One is a Lyle, one is an Ibanez. I have a cloth which I'll be utilizing to make my cloud on the ceiling for soundproofing, and some parts for some guitars, and also a jacket I used when I perform sometimes, and my canes that I had to use to help me get around. I have a picture of me that was drawn. It's by pencil on a bed sheet. I have my custom amp, which is 100 watt. It's a hybrid amp. It works on tubes, and it also below that is a crate amp, which is another 100 watt amp. And I have a 4x12 cabinet. Right here I have a this is a Japanese lawsuit model guitar with an open book headstock, and I've installed 57 Gibson pickups in it. These are some of the pedals I use down here. Overdrive, a distortion. I like the Black Stars because they come with tubes. I got also a lot of I have a looper at every station. The looper allows me to record, and it also allows me to do good videos on the cell phone for creating my music. I have a Marshall cabinet here, and I have a limited edition Marshall cabinet here. I have a pair of these. I split them up, and they can be used with the Regera or the Egnator. And I also play my Slingerling drum set through them. This is another dynamic mic. We have three types of mics. We have condenser mics, we have dynamic mics, and we have ribbon mics. This is a ribbon mic here. I have a pair of these ribbon mics. They're very good mics for instruments and for vocals. Condenser mics are mostly the best for vocals, and I use condenser mics for that. Again, I'm Paulie B, and this is my studio. As we come along over to here, we'll find we have a keyboard and more albums that I use for my podcast in the morning. We have 45s that I was able to salvage from the upstairs of the Trading Post in North Carolina. I have boxes of connections. I have boxes here that have microphone parts. I have my paints. I do all my own artwork. For instance, this is an album cover or CD cover I was working on, Dragon's Rule, and we're working on our own CD covers. We have tripods and different pictures from when I've been playing guitar all my life. This is an amplifier here. There's actually a tube amp in this box. I used this amp when I didn't want to make much noise at night, and I could record with this on a looper and then play it back through one of my larger amps during the day and create some very good music that way. This is another battery operated amp, and on top here I have a lot of old tuners that are handheld tuners and different apparatus, parts for making guitars. It's just an interesting bunch of stuff. CDs for taping our CDs. I have a 45. It's a black powder 45, Civil War. I use this as a prop in some of my videos. We have a large set of speakers here that I use for a PA, and I also use the ones on top for a PA. We have a Yamaha amp here. We also have a Raven amp here. The Raven is a very nice amp with a lot of inputs, digital inputs built in. I have a Fender 4x4, and we have a lot of booms that I can use for these booms are used so that I can actually put a mic on and record from the amps. I have a pair of violins over here. That's the box on the bottom for my cinema camera. It's a very nice $1,000 camera. We have a Fender, we have a Johnson amp on top of that, and we have an Epiphone amp on top of that. For the white window, I'm bringing in a dragon motif that'll cover that so that I don't have all the white in the room. We have lighting throughout the room to make it more interesting when I'm doing my podcast. This is my Sling-a-Ling drum set. It's a very nice drum set. It's a digital drum set, and I can play good drums through that, and I can tape them onto a looper, which makes me able to go from station to station to create music. I also have another ribbon mic back here that allows me to be heard when I'm singing, and I'll often put a condenser mic in lines with that. I have a dynamic mic back here that's hanging between this Gear 1 has built-in in order to have a ribbon mic or a condenser mic work, you need what is called phantom power, and that gives me phantom power for my condenser and my ribbon mics, and it also allows my dynamic mics to work. This amplifier here, this stereo head speaker cabinet on the top goes to another. It's another PA over there below my control panel. That's a 125 watt control panel. I have 3 microphones in that one. I have 3 in the Gear 1, and I use them to mic the entire room. The bottom cabinets go for the Gear 1, and the top cabinets go for the 125 watt head I got over there. I got another 100 watt head that I don't use all the time on the rack that you're looking at right now below the Ignator amp. I have 1,000 watt speakers in my PRO cabinets that work through the control panel and the 2,000 watt head on the dynamic mics. And back in this corner I keep my music, and I have more lighting that I can light up whenever I want. For when I do my podcast, I put color in behind me with different colored lighting. I have this is the area where I would play my drum set, and I can record, like I says, onto the looper, which is a very nice way of recording digital drum set. Coming back around, you get a good look at the studio. Underneath here I have a one speaker that I'm able to plug my cell phone in for